Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 2.46% to 29,664. Ethereum down 2.88% to 1780. What we're going to do together is just a quick run through on the crypto market. Each day I want to give you a feeling of how the different cryptos are moving in what sectors and what industries as well. This is incredibly valuable information to refer back to at some stage. From now on, I'm doing thumbnails like this to give you a really good indication of how the crypto market is changing day to day to day. Again, it's really valuable to know this. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as part of our globally extended KS family. You can see the crypto market is pretty red today. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think is the driving force behind the bleed in alts? It's really important to understand the relationship between the major and the minors, and if you understand this, you'll understand crypto far more. And we do notice a lot of outflows from the crypto market into the stable coins. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the Masterclass, our NFTs. You can get 20% off the tax software I use, and you can always directly message me on Twitter at any time. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. There's always hope, and the sun will come out again. As crypto technical analysts, we scientifically track investor attention, which is measured by price, which is reality and not future promises. There are a lot of things that can move the crypto market. So what we need to do first and foremost, and this is absolutely vital, is to mark up our charts, crypto charts that have exponential price action. With the CTKS method, it's designed to capture exponential price action. Then we look outside the crypto market to look at investment substitutability. It's important to understand the crypto is just one market. There are a lot of other markets. There's the precious metal markets, which are represented by gold. There's the stock market represented by the S&P 500. There's also real estate. There's so many different markets out there. Crypto is just one of them, and all of them have various attractiveness levels to particular investors. One thing that you can see over time, Bitcoin, representative of the crypto industry, has performed very well compared to gold and to stocks as well. Then we look back inside the crypto market, understanding that opportunities reset daily. We're all about buying on red, selling on green, enhancing our pattern recognition to know when to do that, and finding the market's focus, knowing what to actually focus our trades into. Before we actually buy and sell, we must master emotional control. A lot of people don't master their emotional control, and they get whipsawed in and out of their trades. And we always know that all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So it's really important as an investor to know how to trade. A lot of money can be left on or off the table because of that. And then we get into the trigger section, buying and selling. Rule 774, master yourself to master the market. I'd like to share something from JK's Secret. This is from episode 547. JK's Secret said, "Hi Ken and CTKS family. I love that you teach us to start small and encourage us to grow from there. That is really important. A lot of people want you to start big, go all in and more, and what you will find is that you will lose everything if you don't know what you're doing. That's just a harsh reality of the markets, especially in crypto." JK Secret goes on to say, "Too often we are made to feel if you don't go big and aim for the moon, laugh out loud, you should go home broke. whereas your approach is much less stressful and certainly doable when one learns how to do it consistently by following the rules. Before I did the masterclass, I thought I needed to invest a lot of money to make profits, and that scared me. Now I'm happy to start by investing, trading what I feel comfortable with, doing BORSOG, buying on red, selling on green, and getting 10 to 20% gains consistently feels so good. And best of all, I can rinse and repeat forever, regardless of the direction of the market. That is pure gold. Thank you so much for your kind words, JK Secret One. It's really all about not getting stressed out by the market. The crypto market is one of the most volatile markets on the planet. It's easy to be up 100% and it's just as easy to be down 50%. So just keep this in mind. JK Secret was talking about 10 to 20% gains. That's the 10% per week concept. It's an idea. And what this particular idea does is it takes the pressure off you. And that's really important. You do not want to get stressed out. If you had $1,000 and you made 10%, you get $1,100 in total. But if you did that in a week and you kept on doing that percentage return, you would get 11,639%. over a year. That would turn 1,000 at that particular rate into 117,390. It's really important to understand that to do this, you need knowledge. You need to follow the rules, just what JK Secret said. You need patience. You need a real wealth focus. You need to master yourself. And above all, buying on red is a very, very good way to go. But that's exactly the opposite way that most people go. They like to buy on green. And when they buy on green, they push the percentage in the opposite direction. It goes against them, not for them. From yesterday's episode, Zenana said, "Thank you, Ken. You've taught us so well. The price doesn't matter. It moves in waves. Small percentages often equal large gains annually. I put my buys for 5% down, and as soon as that fills, I put a sell order up 5%. It happens every day." It's such a perfect time to start getting in on the right side of the percentages. Like so many people, I got in at all-time highs and held on for dear life until I lost 50%. Then I found you and finally am working my way back up. It wasn't easy to learn and believe, but your persistence in teaching us every single day the same rules over and over made all the difference. Thanks so much, Zenana. And this is from Twitter, Digitized Investments. The BOR range, buy on red range we discussed yesterday, yielded a sweet 10% for me. This is long-tailed. Flash up surprised me, but I'm glad I set a limit sale right after the buy filled. Per moi. You can turn profits even in downtrends. Quick 2 to 10% trades add up, and you can see Digitized Investments actually sold this spike. Well done, Digitized Investments. You're a legend. This may sound easy, but the real key is the real wealth, positive excellence life trend concept. It's really important. When price moves against you, and it will move against you from time to time, you just got to be aware of that. Having this positive excellence, real wealth perspective and buying at spot, you can actually hold through a variety of different price actions. And it also really depends on why you're doing things. You can just seek to accumulate if you wish. Many people just want to buy and hold, and that's completely fine. Having a knowledge of trading will help you enter and exit far, far more effectively. And that's really what it's all about ultimately. It's realistically all about Rule 359, be on the right side of the percentage, and that is more easily said than done, and there's a large emotional component to it as well. In the masterclass, we go through a lot of details and many things that have never been shared in public before because they can't be shared. When we look at the buy and sell, the trigger section, how to do things, a lot of these methodologies cannot be learned just in isolation. You need to know everything. That's why I built the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, to help people out and to transfer my knowledge. Rule 225: Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. It's critically important to understand the broader market, and a lot of people say, Ken, I'm not interested, I just want to cuddle my beloved alt. I just want to look at my alt. I want to know what my alt is doing. In yesterday's comments, Nenad put a very good little statement in here. By the way, I started nagging some of my family members with some of your sayings. For example, a classic one. What happened to my beloved alt? Bitcoin happened. Thank you, Nenad. So we can see Bitcoin's price action here in blue. We call this Bitcoin's fingerprint, and the gravity is the intercorrelation, the directional correlation between Bitcoin and what we're looking at. And we can see here in the NASDAQ 100, as the NASDAQ 100 came down, what was happening to Bitcoin? When it flipped up, what was happening? When it came down, what was happening? When it flipped up, what was happening? When it came down, what was happening? This is really important to understand. If your beloved alts are dependent on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is in directional correlation with the stock market, we best look at the stock market. And what we want to do is to not listen to the news. We want to listen to the charts. The charts tell us the truth. Masterclass students, you will receive my live chart in TM6. So what do we see here? The fear is coming out of the market. It had a bit of a spike up and down. What have we noticed in the NASDAQ 100? It had a retracement. Where did it actually retrace to? It retraced to support, strengthening that support. We would expect a technical bounce, but we also know anything can happen in financial markets, and generally does. But the next level of resistance is 13,532, and the next level of support is around 11,800. When we look at bond prices, currently they're just coming down. Bond yields are still in an uptrend, just a little bit of a tick down. What about gold? What happened to gold? It came up to a resistance level, tried to get above it, but got shot down. What happened to the dollar? It bounced, and it bounced upwards. What about oil? What's oil up to? Oil is continuing its uptrend. And what about the put-call ratio? We can see as over the next couple of days, I'm going to be putting this chart into an LV video inside the masterclass, so the masterclass students can just reference it at any time. What do we actually see here, and why are we looking at this chart? When you look into this particular price action, we can see that all the stock markets globally came down together. This is a really important thing to understand. And then they all recovered together. When we've got these big sell-offs, Bitcoin will come into correlation, directional correlation with the major markets. And when it comes out of that, it will typically be one of the first ones to come out. There are always exceptions, and we need to be flexible and just move with market conditions. But these things stand the test of time. When we look at the NASDAQ, we know that it's just testing that particular support line. That's all it's doing. And we know the price moves in a wave. S&P is doing the same thing. The Dow is doing the same thing. Australia's index has crossed across a resistance level. The Russell 2000 is doing the same thing as the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. Germany's market is starting to rock and roll, and it's actually bypassing a pretty key level of resistance that could look very good for Japanese stocks. The German market also looks really quite good, very healthy. It's breaking out. Russia's market is under duress. The UK's market is over a level of resistance at the moment, and it's just retracing, very much like what the NASDAQ is doing. And China's market is over a level of resistance too. A particular community member said, Ken, what's this red line? It's outperforming everything. That's actually the inverse of the VIX. The inverse VIX can give us some degree of directional correlation in terms of where we think prices are going. Notice this, the inverse VIX, when it came down, what happened with Bitcoin? This is what we want to keep our eye on. We're a Bitcoin and crypto community, but we know that it's an investment, and investments are substitutable by nature. People can take their money from crypto and put it into the stock market if they wish, or put it into property, or cash out their property, as a beloved community member just did, and put it into crypto. Rule 45 is incredibly important. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. There's extreme fear in the crypto market. The crypto fear and greed index is 10. That is way low. That is really, really, really low. I'd just like to show you something. The crypto fear and greed index is right here at the moment. Notice this particular blue line. If we pull that down to where the crypto fear and greed index is, let's have a look back in history where we've actually hit this line before. And it's not too often that we hit this line. We hit it down here. And that was in February of 2020, the COVID crisis. That was a black swan. A lot of people look at the price of Bitcoin and think it's a chart. It's not actually a chart in the real sense of the word. It's an embodiment of different macro and micro economic events and crypto related events that actually move together to move the price. This is really important. All markets sold off when COVID shut down the world and everybody was freaking out about how are people going to work. It was a very, very turbulent time. And I've asked a lot of people, if you had this situation again, when price reached these kinds of COVID levels, would you have bought if you were in crypto? That is a really good question. How would you feel if you were in crypto and you saw something like this? Would you buy it or would you sell it? Now let's have a look at this particular line. As we're looking through here, we haven't hit this line very, very often at all. And generally when we do so, there's been a massive, massive sell-off. Now, does it mean that this is the bottom? Let's have a look at that price action. You see that all of that leveling there. What about the leveling here? There's a lot of leveling. There's a bit of a difference between price action. Price action came up and price action has been going flat recently. But what do we notice about open interest? We notice it's been going up and up and up. This means that there's more people inside the crypto market. It's getting very, very attractive. I'll just move that back a bit so that you can see. I don't know why TradingView puts these things on here. It just covers the price action. Naughty. Okay, we can see the price action, the open interest action going up. This is really, really healthy. Does it mean it's a bottom? Well, we need to look more deeply. It's very important to actually understand what crypto is, and a lot of people don't understand. What is crypto? Crypto is the next generational evolution of the internet into the internet of value. Web 1.0 and 2.0 are being replaced by Web 3.0, where we can actually own chunks of the internet. That's what all of those cryptos actually represent. Crypto means cryptographic. It's all about high security. That is why so many people like to remain anonymous in the crypto space. That is kind of the personality of crypto. And what do we see here? If we compare crypto's growth to that of the internet, we can see we've got decades and decades and decades to play out. The crypto market is tiny globally. And compare that to the stock market and the bond market, it has so much room to grow. And it's literally only starting its adoption cycle right now. We are so early. You are so early, and you are a legend. So what happened to this particular halving cycle? When we look at the 2020 halving cycle, we had black swan after black swan after black swan after black swan after black swan. What do black swans do? Just like COVID did, it suppresses price. And when you get quite a few of them all hanging together, that is a bit of a problem because it suppresses price. If we take this price action and drag it across to the past halving cycle, we can see that we didn't have the blow off top. But no blow off top, guess what? Typically no blow off bottom either. Why is that? When price gets too overextended, it must retrace because this is just out of control price action. And crypto is exponential by nature. If we didn't have these black swans, then we would have had these kind of blow off tops as we've seen in the past. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I'll take all of this off the chart, just like that. And they say, okay, looking at this and this and this, oh, Bitcoin is going to go here because the chart tells you. There's more to the chart than the chart, and that takes decades to learn. Said another way, price action can actually reside outside of charts. And this is a pretty weird thing to say because we're all about charts, but it's important to gain context. That's why you look at so many different things. And you can see that over time, Bitcoin has come up and up and up and up and up, and it will continue to do so. Why is that? Because it's the next generation of the internet. Forget about currency, forget about crypto, just understand what it is. So the question is, how low can crypto go? You can see this red line here. That has caught price incredibly well. And what have we seen? Recently, I'll just zoom in there so you don't get dizzy watching me change the chart. You can see that it actually came down to that red line, and the red line said, ouch, you hit me, get out of here, and poing, it went straight up. And we can see similar kind of action here in the COVID crisis and the US liquidity crisis. This is what the red line is for. What is the value of that red line? You can see it just up here. It is 24,201.50. Masterclass students, you'll receive the KS model in TM2. The reason that we look at the KS model, we want to understand how close we are to this red line. See, 24,201.50. That's the lower boundary of the KS model, and you know historically that has caught price very, very well. So we can see we're about 18.57% away from that very, very strong level of support. When we overlay the NASDAQ 100, we can see that directional correlation playing out extremely well. And what have we noticed? The NASDAQ came down to retest its support level, and Bitcoin has pretty much done exactly the same thing. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think about this directional correlation? As, for example, as the NASDAQ goes up, Bitcoin goes up. As the NASDAQ falls, Bitcoin falls. It isn't a law, it's an association. So sometimes you'll get a diversion, but in actuality, this is following very, very closely. Do you think it's a reasonable signal? Please let me know in the comments. And if we zoom out a little bit, you can see that there's a fairly good correlation occurring between these two variables. Correlation just means that there's an association between two things. Masterclass students, you will receive this live chart in TG34. Some people think that the Russell 2000 is a better indicator, so let's have a look at it. Here it is, there's the Russell 2000. Other people think that the S&P 500 is a better indicator, so let's have a look at it. There's the S&P 500. Which one do you like? Please let me know in the comments. The NASDAQ, the S&P 500, or the Russell 2000. We can see that we've been bouncing around between a resistance level and a support level for, wait for it, 21 days and a little bit longer. And what do we actually see? Let's zoom in here on price. We had a big move in Bitcoin's price. What did we witness before that big move that could have given us some indication? Please let me know in the comments. And what have we seen here? Bitcoin's price has come down and it's been hit by a variety of different support lines through here. And what has it done? It's gravitated towards those supports, tried to get above one, but that's being defended by sellers. Coming down, trying to get that back to that support line, but that's being defended by buyers. And it's currently just reaching back up to that confluence point. Where do you think Bitcoin will be headed over the next 24 hours? Is it 1 or 2, A or B? And it's really good to do this because it refines your thinking. Please let me know your pick in the comments. When I was lecturing first and second year statistics, I always knew what students would do really, really well. They were very, very active. They did all the exercises. They took notice of what was going on. And if you do that too, if you actually throw yourself into this knowledge, knowing that everything that you know will actually make you money in this market, that's a pretty good thing. Like, for example, learning anything at uni can be, sometimes a little bit boring. But when you're learning about the market, hey, you can make money, and you know that the markets reward knowledge and they penalize gambling. Let's have a look at the longs and the shorts. The shorts are measured in this red line, and we can see the red line came down and has been going up. The longs are measured in this green line, and we can see they took a bit of a dip, but they're now actually going up. Let's check liquidations. Over the past 24 hours, there's been 216.75 million in liquidations across 50,901 positions. In the past 24 hours, 80.74% of total liquidations were long. Over the past 12 hours, 82.94%. What about the past 4 hours? Whoa, it's gone the other way. 74.83%. And over the past hour, 92.47%. If you're going long, if you're using leverage, it's only a matter of time until you get wiped out. Please buy at spot. Spot means that you can hold on to it, and you can just wait for things to turn in your favor. Also, be aware that when you are leverage trading, you can lose more than the money that you put into the account. A lot of people don't realize this until it happens to them. And what we've seen here is we've had a lot of long liquidations in comparison to short liquidations, and that's absolutely reflected in the charts. We can see that prices come down. Why did that come down? Because the shorts were very lovingly liquidating the longs, and the longs said, well, I'll have no part of that. I'm back into the market. So the longs lovingly liquidated the shorts, and so it goes on. What a dance. Please let me know where you think Bitcoin is going. Is it a number? Is it a letter? And what one is it? Turning to Bitcoin options expiring at the end of the month, we can see there's a lot of put activity down between 25,000 and 15,000, and there's a lot of call activity between 60 to 70,000, and we have some outliers even all the way up to 300,000. But we can see the max pain price, and this is the price which causes maximum pain to put option holders and call option holders, and it's 34,000. That's the price at which the majority of all of these bets on the market will expire worthless. I also wanted to show you number 3 wallet because it's really quite interesting. You can see here, for example, this gray thing is Bitcoin's price. And what is it doing? It's coming down. But what is this whale doing? This whale is saying, give me some Bitcoin. I want some Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. I need Bitcoin. And this is quite interesting. A bit of a sale here on the 18th. But overall, there is an uptrend occurring here. What do we notice about these uptrends? Please let me know in the comments. And the reason that I ask these questions is I want you to actively learn. A lot of people say it's this or it's that, but you need to know what's going on if you're getting involved. And we have a beautiful community, very loving, very kind community. You'll find that you'll actually understand. Understanding is key. Remembering means nothing. Understanding means everything. Looking at total value locked, or TVL, in DeFi, down 1.24% in the past 24 hours. Total value locked is 107.02 billion. When we look at total value locked across all chains, we can see the top 5: Ethereum, BNB, Tron, AVAX, and Sol. Looking at the top 100, what are the greatest percent gainers? BSV up 3%, XLM, Stellar up 2.48%, and Waves up 0.34%. What about going the other way? ICP is the greatest loser in the top 100, down 13.75%. Remember, ICP was rocketing yesterday. This is an example of price moving in waves. You've got to be careful about those waves. They can crash on you. KDA down 7.49%, Kusama down 7.13%, Solana 6.61%, AVAX 6.69%, Loopring or LRC 6.59%. Jay Bripto from yesterday's comments had a really nice thing to say. I love this phrase you've been using lately. If you get rich quick, you get poor quick. Well said, Ken. And it makes me happy to be a part of this community, scaling in and going slow to go fast. Thank you for your invaluable lessons day in and day out. Thanks so much, Jay. Let's have a look at the top cryptos. What are we actually witnessing here? We know that Bitcoin is coming back into a level of support, just like the Nasdaq, just like the S&P 500, just like the Russell. Yeah, just like all of them. Now, what do we actually see? I was wanting to just point out something interesting to you. We had a very big drawdown recently, and you can see, for example, in Bitcoin, it was 33%, and that happened over a week. What about the same time with Ethereum? 39%. What about BNB? It came down 47%. What about XRP? 48.66%. What about Solana? 60.48%. What about ADA Cardano? 55%. What about Doge? Well, basically 50%, 49.45%. And what about DOT? 55.41%. This is crypto. Crypto moves up down like this and up like this as well. I wanted to show you something interesting because I think a lot of people, especially those new to our community, and welcome to everyone who's new, they don't know very well the 10-5-10 rule. I'll just go and show you how we can actually use that. ADA's getting a lot of attention right now, so let's use ADA's price movement. But before we do that, notice this gravity, this blue line, that's Bitcoin's gravity. How are the other cryptos relating to this gravity on this page that we're analyzing? Please let me know in the comments. It's really important that you understand Bitcoin's gravity. Now let's drill in to ADA. So we can see that ADA came down over 50%. When it retraces up, does it come up 50%? It went down 50%. Does it come up 50%? No, what we actually see is that it comes up over 100%. And you'll see this time and time again. That's why we want to get on the right side of the percentage. Because when price comes down like this, when it comes down over 50%, if it comes down 50% and it goes back up to that prior price level, it will go up 100%. And this is why we need to get on the right side of the percentage. This is really, really important stuff to understand. Professionals understand percentages, and you really, really need to as well, because when you understand this, you can't unsee it. The more it comes down, the better off you are when it retraces to a previous price. And you can see from the bottom here up to just the current price, it's actually increased nearly 40%. So this is a really important thing to keep your eye on. If you can actually use these percentages in your favor, and that's what all professional traders do, you're going to do really, really well. And the professional investors do exactly the same thing. I don't really see much of a difference between investors and traders. They just have different holding periods. And like Zen Anna said, price is always moving in a wave. There is always opportunities within the market. And from this low to this particular peak is up 71.74%. This is why we must master ourselves to master the market. If you find yourself in mind-numbing losses, you're just paying the tuition fee of the markets. It's not your fault. It happens to everyone, and that's nothing to be concerned about. And if you bought at spot, you can just sit it out. That is fine. There's a lot of things that you can do, but the key is to understand the volatility of the market is to the upside and to the downside and then to the upside. There's a lot of talk about decoupling crypto decoupling from the stock market. Recently there was a comment about a beloved community member said, is ADA decoupling from Bitcoin? No, it's not. It's always the alts, always over and under exaggerate the directional movement of Bitcoin. And you can see it here as well. When you get a decoupling, they move in opposite directions, but that's only for a certain amount of time. If they move permanently in different directions, they're decoupled, but we're not seeing any of that right now. Thank you very much to that community member for reaching out and asking that question. As professionals, and we're all about the professional mindset, professionals make 3 in advance probabilistic choices. They make a decision. What will I do if things go for me, go against me, or go nowhere, just go sideways? You must have answers to those 3 questions, not just for the specific investment or trade that you're in, but for your entire portfolio. Let's have a look at the Metaverse. We can see sand following Bitcoin's gravity. The same with Axie. And well done to digitized investments that took that sweet 10% out of there. Well done, my friend. Decentraland, just following Bitcoin's gravity, as is Gala. Engine Coin, same. Ape, same. Chili's, same. GMT, maybe we have to look in here a little bit more closely, but we can see this directional movement. GMT is just a recently traded crypto, but we can see how even it is following Bitcoin's gravity. I just want to show you those charts on a 1 minute chart, and it just helps you to see what's going on. You can see, for example, Bitcoin's gravity. How is it impacting sand? How is it impacting Axie? Look at this directional correlation. What about Mana, Decentraland? What about Gala? What about Engine Coin? What about Ape? Ooh, what's going on there with Ape? And what about Chili's? Something interesting with Chili's. And what about GMT? This is really important for you to understand. Don't forget, we're on a 1 minute chart. A lot of people want to get rich really, really fast, but they don't understand that unless you have the power and the strength to withstand your success, and that sounds really weird, doesn't it? You need it. If you don't have the strength to actually take on the money that you get, you'll just waste it, you'll burn it. And the point is, what is the point of that? What you want is a beautiful and comfortable life. You want happiness, you want all the nice things in life, and you can have them right now, today. You don't have to become something. You are already the unique version of yourself. And positive excellence is just about acknowledging that fact. No one on this planet is more unique than you. Nobody can be you. You're very, very special, and the world needs your talents and gifts. But a lot of people abide by negative excellence, like the inverse of all of these things. They don't have inner peace. They have internal conflict. They don't have outer peace. They've got conflict right, left, and center. They're always battling a battle with someone over something and making themselves miserable. Of course, when you have negative excellence, happiness is a fleeting dream. Gratitude wouldn't even enter people's minds, because when you have negative excellence, that's like a statement. The world is against me. Everybody's out to get me. But it's not true. The world is for you. The world wants you to succeed. And we want to see your brilliance shine, and we want to see that uniqueness come out. The only way it will is through positive excellence, and this takes a very, very long time to learn, but this is what we abide by inside our community. That's why kindness and authenticity is so incredibly important. When you're kind, you're saying the universe is for me. It's like a window into your thinking. When people are generous, that's also a window into their thinking. When people are generous, they're basically saying, I know there's more than enough. I know the universe will provide, and it will. All you have to do is know that the universe is a wonderful, friendly place, and it wants you to succeed. If you're feeling right now that you have to fight against the universe, everything is against you, please know that's simply not the case. This is really good to discuss in the comments as well. We have an incredibly supportive and loving and kind community, and also with strength and boundaries as well. We believe in all of these, ticking all of these green boxes and not going anywhere near negative excellence. Negative excellence, unkindness, being fake, all of those kind of things, they just detract from life. It's very hard to have meaning with negative excellence, but meaningful existence and happiness comes directly from positive excellence and maintaining these real wealth foundations. So the question is, when you get rich, who will you be? If you have positive excellence, you'll just be awesome and you'll be yourself. And that's the most important thing. That's really why people want to get financially secure, because they just want to be themselves. Guess what? You can be yourself right this second, but do it kindly. Let's have a look at the next group of cryptos. Let's have a look at NEAR. Now, this is on the 5-minute chart. I just want to show you how Bitcoin's gravity will play out across alts, and this is really, really important. Like I always say, what happened to your beloved alt? And the answer is, please let me know in the comments. Let's have a look at NEAR. What's NEAR doing? Following Bitcoin's gravity, following. ICX stronger. We can see VRA, a little bit weaker at the moment. Rose, stronger. We can see KSM, weaker. And we can see IOTA, stronger. IOTEX, just following. Remember, this is a 5-minute chart. Let's have a look at Theta. Theta, following, just a bit stronger. Waves, following Bitcoin's gravity, but stronger as well. Notice that downtick, uptick, uptick. Pretty cool stuff. SHIB, following, but stronger. What about EGLD? Following Bitcoin's gravity, but stronger. They're all following Bitcoin's gravity. That's the key. Phantom, just following. No, it's just a little bit weaker at the moment. And CHR has a little bit more strength. LRC, pretty much bang on. And Kyber Network, KNC, following as well. Let's have a look at some more community favorites. We can see Stellar. Now this is on the 1 minute. You can see Stellar following Bitcoin's gravity. CRV exhibiting some weakness. This is very spotty. Please let me know in the comments what this spottiness means. You can see there are kind of gaps in here. AVAX doesn't have those gaps. It's more continuous. Please let me know what you think that is. And we have some very, very experienced community members. They'll know what that means. Let's have a look at AVAX, following. Arweave, following. Zilliqa, following. Uni, following. FTX, bit spotty in here as well. This is really interesting for you to understand and to know. Following again. And what about Tron? Showing weakness, but following. It's very, very powerful concept to understand. Trading and investing is deeply psychological, and it takes a long time to figure this out. Horace said it really well, and he said it a very, very long time ago. Rule your mind, or your mind will rule you. This is all very much a part of Rule 774, master yourself to master. Just a quick question. We go back to the top community favorites, and we look on the 1 minute. You can see Bitcoin's gravity. There's been a bit of talk recently about ADA decorrelating. Do you see a decorrelation there? Please let me know in the comments. I would just like to thank the very kind and generous community members who've reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS. I'd especially like to thank Vicente. Dear Ken, we can never thank you enough for the professional and constant effort you provide us with. You have sown in us a small seed that will grow patiently and wisely and produce life-changing fruit. I wish you all the best, my friend. Thank you, Vicente. That's really nice of you. And signs of congratulations, Ken and Kate. All the best for now and the future. It was wonderful news and also great to see a photo of you both. Ken, stop being so tall. Laugh out loud. Congratulations for the 1-year anniversary, your amazing YouTube channel. It's been a great learning journey and I was lucky enough to find it very early on. Ken, you have an amazing time management. How can you do everything you do while on your honeymoon? It's amazing and very appreciated by one and all, not to mention all the other days like Easter, Christmas, and the weekends. Thank you. Oh, thanks for everything, Ken. Peace and love. Thanks, Signs Earth. That's very nice, my friend. In the next week, I'll be putting a coffee club video together, and you will find rules here that aren't in any other place, such as Rule 919, 303, 65, 471, 829, Rule 40, 305, 402, 420, 18, and I'll be adding another one within the next week. This is just my way of saying thank you very much for your kind generosity. I will be doing one of these videos every single month. I hope you found the content useful. One thing that you'll notice from the heat map here, USDT Tether is turning red. That's signifying outflows from this stablecoin back into the crypto market, and we saw that in those 1-minute charts. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.